Assalamu alaikum. This is Sir Iqbal. Today I want to explain the lesson Shah Abdul Latif. First of all, let me clear this. I'm not going to read the whole chapter. I'm just going to explain the important points regarding the life of Lal Latif. Okay, let's go to the beginning. Lal Latif was born on 1102 Hijra in a small village called Hala Haveli. His ancestors in the past moved to Sindh in the time of Tamerlan. They loved the place because at the time Sindh was the center of Islam. So they decided to live here. We do not know the names, the profession that they had, but we know one thing, that there was one descendant now known as Sayyid Habib Shah, who was the father of Lal Latif. Okay, let's talk about Lal Latif. Lal Latif had a very sensitive mind. Whenever he sees the nature, his heart had an urgency towards Allah, that who created it. He was surprised looking at the beauty of the nature. And when he was just a boy, he started composing poetry. We can say that he was a very gifted boy when he born. When he grew up, he became a scholar of Arabian and Persian. He married a gentle and a noble lady. He had kids. He loved them dearly. He was very kind. You can say that he was just a simple man like you and me. But that suddenly changed when his heart had a strong urgency towards Allah. He became restless in his domestic life. When his father died, he became more restless. So he decided to live his entire life on a mound near his village. The mound. The mound in Sindh is called Bhit. Due to the fact that he had lived his whole life on the mound, so he came to be known as the saint of the Bhit or Lal Latif of the mound. When he lived there, his spiritual power increased day by day because of the prayer, because of the devotion that he had towards Allah. Because of that, his spiritual power was on peak. So due to that, many people started attracted towards him. They were very impressed by his kind and noble nature. Soon his followers increased day by day. At the place of his mount, there was a natural lake. He usually sat there in deep thinking and think about the Allah. He showed gratitude towards the God, and usually he composed poetry on his dignity. Okay, one more thing. Lal Latif was not only a saint and a poet, but he was also a musician. In his time, the music was very difficult, but he disliked the idea. He said that the music shouldn't be that much difficult. So he wrote poetry, he wrote songs in the language of a common man. He also invented a simple musical instrument called tamburo. Tamburo was just like the instrument that the Arabs use, but it has different set of strings. He usually sat beside the lake and usually sang his song on the melody, on the tunes of tamburo. Many followers now, old or young, sang Lal Latif songs and enjoyed his moving tones. When he died, the famous king of Sindh at the time, Ghulam Shah Kalhodo, who was a very big, very great devotee of Lal Latif, built a shrine on his grave. So people started visiting his grave, visiting his shrine, and his followers gathered his poetry, and the collection is now known as Lal Latif Shahjo Risalo. Shahjo Risalo, and every year on the 14th of Safar, a horse is held in his memory. Many people visited his shrine and listened to the song sung on the tunes of tamburo. They enjoyed it. And now recently, a museum rest house has also been built. His shrine has also been rebuilt and connected to the main road. Let us talk about the message. It was the life, the journey of Lal Latif. The message. What was the message of Lal Latif? Okay, Lal Latif's message was a message of love. He believed in equality, brotherhood, and pleasing the God by good deeds. This was, according to him, is the goal of life. That's all, my students. Yeah, I have also written some difficult words. They are not the whole words. Just few selected words are there, and you can pause the video and see it all. Thank you.